Yeah, any time now it should be working. And oh, there it is.
Woo!
uh,
There we go.
hello, one and all, and welcome to the Mechpit Chat, where we are gonna talk about some big robots. Because come on, who doesn't want to talk about big bots?
I do.
Me too.
Yeah.
It's been a pretty good week. I got a chance to go sit down and kind of binge through a bunch of backlog anime, and I was like, that might be a good topic for tonight. Why don't we just kind of nerd out about some big bots? Because like last time we sat and last time we sat down, we talked about a Gundam movie, and it seemed like it would be a good idea to just kind of do that as well.
Oh yeah.
Without further ado, what's been going on, Punk Waddle?
This week has been fairly slow.
Oh, that's
Cause yeah, well, as some of you may know, I'm a sheriff in Texas. Some of that is true, and Texas doesn't really handle the snow and the elements well. I mean, let's be fair. Sometimes in Texas, people can't figure out how to handle a strong downpour. So, but no, last week, I don't think it was more than a head cold, but whatever's been the bug that's been going around taking people out. I went home from work, called in sick. Well, I called in sick Friday after leaving work on Thursday, and then you know trying to recuperate. So I was catching up on some current anime stuff and just trying to wait it out. And then all of a sudden, we get all this cold weather system that's hitting the whole country, and yeah, I stayed home today because I didn't want to slip and slide.
well, that's fair enough. Hang on, real quick. Since we're talking about cold weather, I thought I'd bring in someone real quick who knows a thing or two about cold weather himself.
Hello,
We had to bring in Novi.
everybody.
Hey,
Hey. I basically just woke up and I saw your message and I was just like, yeah, I'm just gonna jump in, man.
No,
And
man, that's
so,
good. It's just we're just like gonna hear, we're just kind of going in without much of a plan, but that's kind of how the fun goes.
yeah, no, and yeah, I know all about cold weather. I do. I live in Norway, so I'm
oh,
used to it. We are used to it here. So if you're snowed inside, we are used to it. We're just gonna be like, oh yeah, whatever. We're just gonna push the door open. We're gonna try to get out.
mm,
Uh,
Yeah, no, it was pretty bad here because it got down to like 3 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah, I heard Kilton, my co-host, he complained a lot about storms and bad weather and stuff like that and cold.
Mm.
And I'm just like, yeah, that sounds like a typical day in Norway.
like,
All right, so I'll bite. How bad was it today, Jace?
In Norway?
Yeah.
Well, today I was at the store today, and it wasn't actually that bad. It wasn't that bad actually. So it's pretty okay. And I like the winter, so for me it doesn't bother me if you know what I mean.
Mhm. Yeah, it's all kind of what we're used to. But anyway, uh, yeah. What have you guys been watching lately? Because I think that's kind of it might be a good way to go.
What I've been watching lately of anime. Well, it's been a couple of weeks since I watched anime. Since I went on a whole rail to rewatch Vikings.
okay.
But the
Mhm.
last thing I saw, let me see here. Yeah, I did start on solo leveling to see how
Mm,
that was, because a lot of people said a lot of good things about it. And I know the backstory to the manga. It's a South Korean manga and stuff like that. I was online and all that kind of stuff. So I think that was pretty cool. So yeah, that was pretty interesting. So that's something I've been watching. Um, and of course, I had to check out Cyberpunk Edge Runners. since I got the game Cyberpunk, and I was like, yeah, I've only seen like 2 or 3 episodes before of Cyberpunk Edge Runners, so I decided to watch that. And I'm actually just going through my list to remember what the fuck I've been reading, no, watching. But the thing that I really enjoyed that I watched was an anime movie called Suzume, and it's the same people that created Your Name, Weathering with You, and those movies. And it's a really great story uh, about this girl and this other multiverse universe thing, and it's a lot of. I'm not gonna spoil the whole thing, but it's like it's really unique. You have to watch it. It's like every time you watch the movies to those people, the first one, is also like a magical thing. The other one is also a little bit magical and with powers and stuff like that. So they always have like a certain theme to every movie they create. And they can feel like a little bit like Ghibli movies, but they're not.
Yeah.
But they're really really good. Your Name is one of my favorite anime movies ever created. At least that's an anime movie I can rewatch any day of the week. And these are like the movies that I can cry off. The anime movies that I can cry off, if you know what I mean.
Oh yeah, they're perfect for when you feel like you really need that just that little release.
Yeah, yeah, it really is. It's like I remember the first time I watched, not the first time, but the first time I got my dad to watch Your Name with me because I've seen it multiple times. So my dad, he likes anime, he loves anime. He also, he's the reason why I also became, into the anime world when I was younger. Um, so my dad, we finally got to see it together, and my dad started mocking the shit out of me because I started crying in certain scenes, and my dad is just like, it's like, yeah, I'm bisexual, right? And he's just like, yeah, yeah. He's like, yeah, I can see that you're pretty gay when you watch this kind of stuff. Yeah,
Oh jeez.
you're crying you're crying like a little bitch right now. And he was mocking me, and I'm like, I know, but it's so well done. So it's a good movie. It's a
I'm like,
really
I'm a
good movie.
man. I don't cry over nothing except like 20 scenes of One Piece.
Yeah, right. But that's a good thing with animes, in my view, is that it's not much. It's not many things in the world that can make me cry when I watch stuff. But anime just has this little. I don't know how to explain it, but when it's really well done and it's like a really happy scene or a sad scene or in the middle, it's like it really hits your heart in a way. Because what I think anime really does right is that yes, it's like over the top fantasy on a lot of stuff, but they also find a way to use like really hardcore realism in certain scenes so you can like feel it, if you know what I mean. It's
Yeah,
like a
yeah, yeah. And
combination that I just think is really interesting with anime.
well, I mean, that's sort of the beauty of it all because it's able to sort of transgress language barriers to even when translated, it's able to just really connect on that emotional level.
Yeah. No,
Uh,
exactly.
so Punk, sorry, what was it? What was it you were saying you had watched recently? It's just kind of like an odd thing to jump back to from.
Oh, what we were talking about before I started. Let's see. Um, I can't remember if I said anything particular. Like I've been trying to. Well, like I said, I've been talking about. I did just watch the solo leveling, and those first two episodes are definitely have me hooked to keep watching. Um,
It's pretty good.
yeah, like I know some people said that maybe it would have made sense to maybe have the first two episodes as just one longer first episode, but either way, um, kind of looking over the list. Catching up on the Shangri-La Frontier, yeah. The I don't know. Like I'm glad that it's getting more than 12 episodes, but I'm not glad that they have the mid-season catch up
Mm,
because I know that happens every now and then. I don't
yeah.
think it happens as much as it did like a decade or two ago, but
It doesn't feel like it. It doesn't feel like it, but it's still there, but no, doesn't feel like it.
I mean,
because
could that in part be because like episode counts have sort of shortened up?
Maybe.
That might be because one thing we've seen a trend with anime in a couple of years is that it's a few episodes, and then like the season ends, and then you just have to wait for season two.
Well, I mean, like even like the 12 episode series was always kind of a standard, and then you could
Mhm.
probably, that'd be like that's like a half season, and
Yeah,
then maybe if a studio puts out like 8 of those in a year, that basically fills the entire year out.
yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, so like kind of one of the more the current modern ones I need to go back to is Fearin, the elf one.
Oh yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's what we're
Which
talking about. Yeah.
yeah, have you seen that yet, Jace?
I'm not seeing it, but I know about it. It's on my list.
Oh yeah, it was getting me a little bit choked up when I was watching it because here's these adventurers who have gone off and they've had their adventure, and now
Mm,
we're sort of years after the fact where
yeah,
the elf is going to live on and she's outliving her party members.
Mhm. It. I don't know if I ever said this on stream, but it really reminds me of that scene from Lord of the Rings where um, Arwen's basically being told that, hey, you're gonna outlive everybody, and she has the vision of she's
mm,
next to Aragorn on his funeral pyre or whatever, and then she's sitting there by his monument, whatever, and I don't know, the same kind of just, I don't know, sadness but somberness. Um, that emotion, I think, kind of hit the bill on that same sort of mentality.
yeah. And I've also
Yeah,
been, I don't,
I mean, just kind of it's interesting. I mean, Fearin is kind of interesting because you're sort of you're with her in the current day, but then she's kind of looking back and reminiscing over her adventures with the former party. So you're sort of getting it through her eyes
mm,
of looking back on it and realizing she didn't connect enough, she didn't spend enough time in the moment with them.
Hmm.
And then
yeah.
there's
I'm
sort of that
excited to
fear at the
watch
same
it.
time there where she's like getting this apprentice, and is she doing the same thing now again?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm excited to watch it to at some point. Unfortunately, I just have so much anime that I'm going through.
Oh no, look at me. I have too much of a
Mm,
good thing.
yeah, I have such a big fucking list, so I'm going through my whole list.
Yeah, no, I get you though. Like I've got a backlog of stuff,
Yep.
it, including a bunch of like 70s and 80s stuff. And oh, Phil, you're making me jealous because like right now this is like the one I really want to watch.
But there's an anime
Oh
I'm
yeah.
really excited for this year that comes out in March, and it is a Super Sentai anime. Basically, that's what it is,
Oh yeah.
and it's called Go Go Loser Ranger, and
Okay.
it's really dark. It is it is basically Power Rangers in a way with anime or Super Sentai, you could say, the good old Super Japanese Super Sentai, and it looks really interesting. I don't know much about the world at all. I basically I never heard about it before I saw the trailer, and then I saw the trailer and I'm just like, wow, this actually looks really interesting, and I am gonna buy the manga to check it out because it just looks really fucking fantastic. And like you, Ironcaster, and people who are like who likes Super Sentai and all that kind of stuff, you know, that that might be a hit for people who likes this kind of stuff because it looks really fucking cool. You should check out the trailer if you haven't.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to see what I
Sounds
can look up
interesting.
about this.
I mean, I I remember when, well, I was a kid when Power Rangers came out, and I know it took everybody by storm. And I kind of stopped paying attention because what? Then Pokemon came out, and I really didn't pay attention to that either. But now 30 plus, well, yeah, almost 30 years later, and
Yeah.
both of them are still going strong in popularity.
All right, let's see here.
Yeah, Power
So,
Ranger was popular. It's still popular, but it has slowed down because of a lot of stupidity. A lot of
Well,
stupidity lately with choices.
yeah, I believe that.
so
That
just to point it out, thank you to Brandon the Anime Guy for pointing me to this site AnyList where we can keep track of all the various series going on, including what has recently aired and things that are coming out soon, including
yeah,
this upcoming series that you've mentioned called, which has the name Sentai Daishikaku.
yes, and American name is Go Go Loser Ranger.
When the monster army invaded Earth 13 years ago, the Divine Dragon Rangers rose up to stop them. With the war raging on, though these great heroes are mankind's last hope. Or are they? In truth, the invaders were subjugated within a year, forced to continue to crank out a monster of a week for the Rangers to crush in the front of their adoring fans. But one monster has had enough. Something has to change. He'll rebel against the might of the Dragon Rangers and destroy them all from the inside.
Oh no.
So I'm really, really excited for that one. It just looked so fucking fantastic and fun. And it's coming out in March, if I don't remember wrong.
Oh, even better, because I was trying to look here to see if I had at least a release date for that, which so far I don't see, but we are going to. Yeah, let's add to a list. Let's do this live on the show.
Yeah, we're doing it live.
Doing it
Yeah.
live, baby. Some exclusive content.
The oh so important stuff.
Mhm.
But yeah,
But no,
which I think is gonna be a great place to start because I mean, just the reason right now, the recent stuff that's kind of getting a lot of interest.
yeah,
There is a slow bubbling of some mecha stuff, including this series that I kind of mentioned briefly that
very banger,
that
baby.
I
Yeah,
yep that Philip mentioned
Yeah.
that I've mentioned. This is currently airing, but at the moment I don't know where I can watch it.
Oh, okay. Me
Let's see,
neither.
called Brave Bang Bravran. It's set in a world where humanoid armored
I
weapons
know
known
where
as
to find it.
Titanos Riders, or TS, are used in warfare. The story kicks off when the troops of various countries converge on the island of Oahu, Hawaii, including the main character, Ao Isami of the Japan Ground Self Defense Force, and Lewis Smith of the United States Marine Corps. Isami and Smith cross paths during the battle, but suddenly their teams are attacked by an unknown enemy. Scattering soldiers and sending their forces into disarray, in order to save their friends and survive on a deadly battlefield, they must fight with every ounce of courage and pride that they can muster. So it basically, from what little bit I've seen, it starts off with like your more traditional tanks and
Mm.
kind of maybe just kind of very tank like robots, only to then turn around and like go full on like super robot.
Sounds fun.
Well,
And also
I did put
because
it on my
it's got that
list.
name, and also because it's got the name Brave in it, it's got a lot of people bringing up a lot of the other Brave series,
Yeah.
such as one of my favorites, the King of the Braves, Gal Gaigar.
See, I've never watched a Brave series, but I feel like I need to now.
All right, wait, I actually have a clip for this. Let me give you one reason why you should watch it.
Okay, just one. Okay, it's good. That's two good reasons right there.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I even doubled it.
Hmm.
Not one, but two robots, and they're not even the big robots of it. It's kind of as far as I understand the story. Like they were working on some of the Transformers stuff in the 2000s,
Hmm.
or no, coming out of the 80s, and then basically what happened was, uh, Bandai's Japanese, or
Mm.
basically Bandai and or not Bandai. Oh shoot. Basically Hasbro and them decided they didn't want to do any more Transformers for a while. They were going into the
Okay.
CGI stuff,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and the studio was geared up to do more big robot stuff. So they just kind of went off and started doing some stuff. And oh yeah, Philip is correcting me here. Says with that, says with this series here, they're in a bunch of Mech Warrior type mechs until the
Okay.
Gundams show up.
Uh-oh.
Like that
Um.
get you? Like all I'm saying is like that's all I need.
Yeah. I mean, you had me at mechs, but then you said Gundam type, so I don't know. I think I'm just gonna have to figure out how to find a way to watch the show.
Yeah. No, it looks really interesting, and I think tomorrow I will give the first episode a watch because I find everything.
Says the combat scenes remind him of '86.
Okay. I still need to watch 86 too.
Hang on, what are we talking '86? Because my mind's immediately going to like the Headmasters, which doesn't sound right.
No, 86 is the one that Bandai made kits for in the last year or two. Like I think they're like little smaller like tank thingies and more realistic warfare style.
Okay. There, it's a series line.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, because like I didn't really know about this. I mean, unless you want to talk about like this character, but I somehow don't think that's quite it.
Well, I mean, I knew of the show, or I knew of the model line just because I pay attention to what Bandai puts out, and eventually I realized it was a series.
Okay, so it's like so it's basically they're adding a bunch of like light lore for kind of putting out these generic, well, maybe not generic is the right word, but these non Gundam kits.
Yeah. Okay. So Philip says they all run minis Marauders. Okay. Yeah. So
Huh.
they're all like smaller mecha. There's no real big Gundam, but it's I don't know. Like I said, I haven't watched it, but it seems stylistically not the same as Gundam. Yeah. Like I know
Hmm.
it's on Crunchyroll and you can find it some other places too.
Yeah.
It's like now we have to go start looking into this, and I'm like, oh okay. So I was like on point. It is actually like tied in with that. So they wanted to put an anime girl to it.
Yeah.
Okay, they're like kind of like a spider looking mech.
Yeah. And I think a couple other things because there's there's that line and then there's another show that they have where the mechs are a little bit more like Full Metal Panic size.
Oh.
Gotcha. I'm just gonna take a look at a couple of the. I don't know if this will load, but of course,
Yeah.
everyone
Yeah.
can't be
I'm
that
waiting.
simple.
Come on. I want to see. Come on. Come on, dude.
Why do you do this to me?
Yeah.
There we go.
That looks pretty fucking dope.
Yeah, I kind of like it. It's reminding me of like the big mobile fortress in Konosuba. And no,
Chat. Hi,
University.
welcome to our website. Hey, man, you need to chat, man. Maybe we
No,
can go on a date.
no, no, I don't think we will.
talk about mech stuff.
Ain't no free
No,
advertising, right? Oh.
no, she's got to be a, only if she puts out Gunpla. Like,
Uh,
and I don't go out for less than an RG kit at least.
oh, okay. I mean, if
She's
it's a
got to have
P Bandai HG, I mean, if it's the right one.
You
you know,
just
you know.
you just got to have a little bit of a standard, and I think that's at the
Yeah,
very
I understand.
the
Yeah.
least I could do.
yeah.
And lately I've also gotten more. I start to try to like watch Vinland Saga because that's like a Vikingish anime and stuff like that.
Hmm.
And I found out that it has different dubs. If you're gonna watch it in dubs for to people out there, it's different. And one of them are more unrated, and the other one is the Netflix version that is a more apparently censored or different.
It
Okay.
also got the Netflix treatment.
Yes. So if you're gonna watch it, you have to like watch Vinland Saga Sentai, like that's the official one. If you want dub or sub, doesn't matter. You can watch however you like it, of course. Um, I'm not one of those people who will be mad if you watch dubs. It's like it's fine. I watch dubs once in a while myself. Um, but and the other one, when you're gonna go to like season two, I think then you just go to the other one that is not Netflix, because that's like the official stuff, not the official, not the Netflix treatment.
Yeah,
But
no.
but but, but the anime itself is pretty nice, pretty decent. It's not the worst thing I've seen. I need to get more into it to see if I like it. But I need to check it out because I'm a Viking, so
And just to hey Loki, just to address that, it's Gundam Waddle, not just any mecha.
Mhm.
Depending on what century, and it depends on
He's
what Gundam stands for, but
look, a penguin's got to have standards here, all right?
yeah.
Mm.
I haven't gotten Punk Waddle War Machine up and working yet, so we're going with Gundam Waddle today.
Yeah. Well, you see, the biggest challenge is coming up with like just the perfect name.
Yeah.
So I mean, we could call him the Punk Walker.
Mm. Yeah, it sounds more like Star Wars, like an ATST or something.
DJ Ronnie G says, thanks, Punk, for reminding me this was live right now. Like, honestly, DJ Ronnie, like that was one of the things I was thinking about when I was kind of sitting here today. I was like, I could go be lazy, but I'm like, no, fuck this. Like,
Fuck
I'm not
this,
gonna go
yeah.
let you down. Like, I'm not gonna go off and do nothing. But I'm like, oh, what am I gonna do? I'll just reach out and see what these guys are up to, and yeah, we're gonna make the most of this. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, what would Loki do? It's like, no, he's not gonna do nothing. No, he's gonna come in here. He's gonna talk some shit.
Yeah. And hail to DJ Ronnie G. I'm gonna be on his stream tonight with some other friends of ours.
Oh,
Cool.
It's gonna be fun.
and yes, of
Tune into
course,
that.
skull to Loki.
Yeah. Punk
Or how you
Waddle
say
and
it
Skull.
or the right way to say it, skull.
Oh, I feel
Uh,
like I need to put a pinky out when I say it like Jace. Skull.
skull. Ugh.
I'm gonna lift up. Wait, should I lift up my martini
Just
glass?
because I'm fucking tired, bro, and you're gonna mock me because I'm tired and I don't have the energy to go full skull.
Ah, hold on. I think it's something like
Skull.
skull. And
Yeah, that's
yeah,
what I normally do, but hey, I'm tired and it's not
hey,
long since I woke up, man. Come on, don't judge
we're
me. Just
here to
just
fill voids. That's what I heard today.
hey,
We're here to fill
just because
voids.
I'm a little gay, don't need to mock me. Come on.
I'm not mocking you. I'm
Yeah,
just trying to live up to the. What wakes me up in the morning every day is Loki screaming out people's names
yeah.
Yeah,
gutturally.
that's
In a
and
manly
it's the
way.
best part is it's like fuck that Folger shit. It's like like the best part of waking up is Folger's cup. It's like no, the best part of waking up is Loki in your ear.
It's true. It's true. Also, Folgers is so. I
Yeah,
said it.
it's all right. Personally, I like a
It's
lot of like the Dunkin' Donuts. I think they've got better coffee.
yeah, yeah. Ironically,
Oh,
so I really
you
like
reminded
their.
me. I need to make coffee. I need to wake up.
There you go. Like the stuff you can buy in the store is good, but the Dunkin' Donuts coffee, when you go there, they just add some syrup to it. And it's really not that great. It's weird.
If you're gonna have a real coffee, it's gonna be black fucking coffee. Dark black coffee. No milk, no sugar, no syrup, no nothing. Just pure black fucking coffee.
No,
Yeah.
see what you got to do. What you got to do is go and like get yourself like properly powered up, and get yourself. I mean, let me pull this up. You got to make sure you get yourself the proper belly for like all that, for all that coffee and all that energy you have. So you got to go and like turn yourself into like a cyborg, so you can be
Nice.
super.
Yeah, if this was the 80s or 90s, that'd be Krang from the Ninja Turtles. Or his like robot. Didn't somebody meme Tom inside of that one once? Anyway, moving on.
I think I did that for like Mexican Iron Man.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh God, I wonder if I can even find that anymore. It was, I don't even remember the context of it anymore, but yeah, that's gonna be Mike. He's gonna be powered. He's gonna be powered by like, I don't know, liquid MILF.
Mm.
He's got power up so he can like do the window jump.
You know, the other option for this, speaking of robots, would be Bender from Futurama. He always has a beer or two in his keg.
Oh, yeah.
I see
Exactly.
Bender's like a Jace.
Mm.
When you said what now?
I can see you tell people bite your shiny metal ass.
Yeah.
Oh, well, who knows what I do,
Well,
He shows up like, it is I who bite the hiney.
well, I'm not gonna make fun of you too much, Jay, because I've seen you on chats, but I don't know if I've ever been on the same chat, or maybe once with Anime Guy, but there were a lot of people there, so I haven't really had a chance to interact with you. So yeah, I'll save my mockery till a little bit later in the show.
Oh, no, you can mock the shit out of me, dude. I mock everybody. I will always mock my fucking friends. It's like, again, I'm an asshole, but I'm a nice guy, but I'm a fucking asshole. That's what I'm known as.
Yeah.
So, all right. So then, how far back do you guys tend to go with when it comes to some of the anime? Some of the, even not doesn't have to necessarily be the mecha, but like, how far back do you guys tend to go for? Because it's.
How do you mean?
I mean, like, if we're talking like just in general, like how far back with anime,
Like my
are we talking?
childhood, or how far back of anime
Wait,
do I like to watch?
yeah, if it
Yeah,
comes to
let's
like
go with the
child,
latter. Like, how old of the anime do you like tend to go for? I mean, how finely aged is it for you guys? Are you going back to like the
to
OG
me,
Astro?
There's
for
so many
me, it
jokes
doesn't.
about how many characters are in high school. Anyway, sorry, that was awful. Speaking of current anime, yeah. Anyway, enough with the baton slapping. I what was it? Like for Gundam, I've gone back to the original, the movies. I haven't watched the shows. There's a lot of stuff, art style. Like I'll say that I started getting into anime probably around 2010 ish. But I like bebop style, I like the 90s style. Some of
Mm,
the some of the 90s stuff to me is a little bit more realistic. Some of the silliness of the early 2000s, but then it's still, you've got the early 90s that kind of have that somewhat realistic, but they're all hand drawn, as opposed to like the Fate series and A1 that's
mm.
uses some AI but still art, and it's really really good. Um, so
All right, yeah. So you want to basically go back to sort of the peak of the hand drawn, like just before we were pulling out all the CG and computer
yeah,
cells.
right, probably mid 90s as far as a really enjoyment.
Yeah. And the hand drawing is amazing too. If you like go back behind the scenes and see how they're doing everything with it, it's amazing to watch just how much fucking talent they're putting into it all.
Hmm. Oh, Shogun Warriors was good. I remember when that aired.
Mm. Yeah, Shogun Warriors, yeah.
See, I think I somehow missed that series. But like
It's
Is
like
that
one year I was gifted a toy from it.
was that Ronin Warriors or Shogun, or is that the same thing?
Oh no, I'm thinking of Ronin Warriors. No, Shogun Warriors was what we got, was where they took a bunch of the big robot anime stuff, and they sort of brought it over. Like
Oh, okay.
Mazinger is in that.
Got
and
it. Got it.
and for
And
me, it's like I can watch modern anime, but I can go really far back. Like I can go back to the 1989 and stuff like that. It really depends on what anime it is and stuff like that, or manga overall, because there's just so much good stuff in the old age, and there are good stuff in new age too. But it's like I can go back to watch old stuff. It's like I grew up, watching. I don't know if you guys have seen it, Kimba the White Lion, for example.
Oh, I
There,
know of it.
yeah, that's why Lion King fucking sucks because they just stole Kimba the White Lion, and that's proven fact. If you look at them and everything. But other than that, I can go back far to that because I love old style anime and how they created it, and they had like more of a unique look to it at that time. They didn't look the same all the time when you watched anime, and now a lot of the anime looks the same like 90% of the time with how it looks like with the characters and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
yeah.
But back in that time, I felt it was more unique, more different. And so I can go back far to that. I grew up watching Kimba the White Lion, Dragon Ball, and all that kind of stuff. So yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
no, that story is actually pretty well known because it's become a one of those little factoids that every once in a while you'll see someone kind of bring up.
Dragon Ball?
No, I mean the Kimba.
Oh yeah, the Kimba. Yeah, it's great.
Okay.
It's my childhood. That's a fun thing. A lot of people grew up with it. Oh, I love Lion King. No, fuck you. Lion King is fucking bullshit, piece of shit, garbage.
I,
If you want to
I
watch a
remember
good,
seeing. I remember seeing Lion King in the theaters. My friend's mom took us, and we ended up, because it was so full, we ended up sitting in the front
yeah.
row. And I hate sitting in the front row of theaters, especially
Oh
that Stampede
yes.
scene.
Oh
I'm just craning my neck. I was like, just make it end. It's okay, but
yeah,
make it end.
yeah, yeah. No, what was I gonna say? Yeah, the first time I saw Lion King, I was 18 years old. I had to watch it because of my ex-girlfriend. Because she's just like, "What? You've never seen the Lion King stuff?" I'm like, "Hell no, it's not my cup of tea." And then I watched it, and I'm just like, the first thing that popped out of my mouth, why the fuck did Disney copy Kimba the White Lion? Even the fucking name of the character, Kimba, really? And a lot
Oh,
of and a lot of the
Yeah.
so
scenes, yeah, and a lot of the scenes in Lion King are the same scenes in Kimba the White Lion. And a lot of the characters, you have a character who is Scar, in Kimba the White Lion, and he also has a
Mhm.
scar, and they have the same backstory, and it's the same thing. Lion King did the same. The guy who wrote Lion King, he tries to deny that he didn't take any inspiration or anything from Kimba the White Lion. It was a big
Hmm.
thing, but he did. It's like you can see scenes by scene, and you can see story by story and characters by characters. And I'm like, yeah, okay.
so let me then ask you guys, and I think this would be a good one to kind of talk and jump to. How much do you guys know of Captain Harlock?
Not much, but I've seen that it exists, and I think I've seen a couple episodes, but not enough.
All right, well, just to pull up like something I thought would be kind of cool to show here, real quick, just from the 2013 like CGI movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I
It
remember that
looks
one.
this was my introduction to the character.
Okay.
Although I've seen his shit before, the Arcadia,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
and it is a beauty.
Didn't it
And
this movie come out in 2013 or
yeah,
something?
Yeah.
this is 10 years old.
I
Mm.
remember it was on Netflix or something, and I watched some of it, and I didn't understand it at the time, so I didn't go back to it.
So to sort of set the scene, like humanity has basically gone to an all-time like peace in space. Like
Mhm.
humans on Earth basically do nothing but spend all their leisure time. And so they've basically become very slack. And you have guys like Harlock out there, they're like, no, you guys, like freedom
Mm.
is should be the ultimate goal because everything's under this big giant everything's under the control of this big, government
Mhm.
Yeah.
that is sitting on its laurels and being slack when there are big threats out there. And so you have guys like Harlock who want to go and go out into the universe and live a life that means the most to them.
Mhm.
So,
No, it's not a bad movie.
yeah, no, it is visually stunning. I'm
It
like,
really is.
wow, this holds up so well.
It does, and the CGI style that they use too, reminds you a lot of, what Final Fantasy does when they use that CGI for the movie.
Yeah. Okay.
And the thing is, like the mangaka, that's Leiji Matsumoto.
Yeah.
That was always his thing. He likes doing these sort of space opera stories, and there's a lot you can kind of get out of them. Where in a way, kind of similar would see later with like a series like One Piece. It's like humans humans in a world like this, they aren't free. They don't have freedom. They are just slaves to the entertainment, to the totalitarian government that will just tell them like, no, you roll over and bow down to us. Don't
Mm.
worry about don't worry about anything. We're gonna take care of it all. Oh, but never mind. Don't worry. There's no threats out there. Don't worry about any of that.
Don't worry, it's all fine.
Yeah. No, we're the government. We'll take care of you. But then you got guys like Harlock who are like, no, fuck this. I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna live my life to the most. And I'm
So
gonna do it with friends and a crew who are willing to follow their dreams.
so is that kind of like a precursor to Kamino, like
Kinda.
from Gurren Lagann?
I see where you're going. Yeah. That's not a bad one.
I remember just that kind of brazen, like, screw y'all, I'm gonna do what I do kind of attitude. I remember seeing at least that much of a comparison even back
Yeah,
then.
Yeah, it's a series that I feel like definitely deserves a little more recognition, a little more appreciation.
yeah,
And especially considering of the this was coming out in like pre Star Wars. Like this had Star Wars beat by months.
yeah,
Dang.
It was in the atmosphere. There was the energy was in the air. And then we get like these iconic looking characters. Like, how can you go wrong with someone like this?
yeah. No, he looks badass too. The character looks badass too.
Big giant like big black bird over his shoulder.
Space pirate, kind of, but not. But
Okay, let me pull up some. Oh, let's pull this back out. Like, yeah,
yep.
I'm ready. He's ready to throw down,
He is ready.
but he's still a pirate.
Mhm.
And yeah, like it's gone on to have so many other spin-offs. It's all a lot of other things tied together. Uh, yeah, as a kind of little mention in the chat there, Galaxy Express 999, the
Yep,
Battleship Toronto, Gun Frontier. Like
yep,
he did a lot, actually.
yep.
Mhm.
And it was a lot of episodes too.
Oh, you're not wrong there.
I think some of them had like 100 episodes or something, if I don't remember wrong.
Dang.
You might be right.
Like every
The
season, was like 100 episodes or something.
let's see. The original series had like 42 episodes. We've got some other sequels, probably condensing it down. It's quite a bit here. So yeah, you might not be entirely wrong. I'd have to do a little bit more delving.
Yeah, it's just what I remember, at least. Um,
And one of the nice things is it is it's out there. It's available. Like you can go pick up some of the original manga in these nice, big, thick, beautiful hardcover books.
Okay, so
Like,
I'm looking at it now. Galaxy Express has 113 episodes,
oh, really?
and and
Okay.
then we have Queen Millennia that has 42 episodes, and then we have let me see here. The Galaxy Express side story that they did. They have like 13 episodes.
Okay, so it's got a good little mix of webso counts. So you got something there for you got something there for a different few different sizes
Yeah, and then you have
of
like
count for you.
yeah, so it's a lot of episodes, it's a lot of episodes like that, and they also have a prequel and all that kind of stuff that has certain just looks like 2 episodes, like but they're really long. Like the episodes are like really long, and you have like movies and stuff like that. So you have a lot of content to all of this. You have a lot of content in this universe.
Yeah, and you've got Pops and DJ Ronnie G talking about in the chat. I remember DJ Ronnie G talking about wanting to go over some of this and talk about it on a few streams because yeah, that guy knows the stuff pretty well.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Because like I mentioned it quite a bit, but like I'll be honest when I'll be honest when I say I've not like delved into like all of it. Like I can't like sit here and spout off like from memory all kinds of stuff about it. I'm just like, yeah,
oh,
I've seen it and I like it. I just
Yeah,
don't
I'm not seeing much either.
remember like all the
Just seeing
names.
the original and that animated, that CGI animated stuff. I only know, and everything else I'm also just know about from before and stuff. And it's stuff I want to go and watch at some point. But it's gonna take some time to finish it all, of course. But at some point I will go back and watch everything at some
Well,
point.
if you're gonna do that, like I would also recommend go check out a couple of the other like kind of classic series. Like one I think is actually pretty fun to go watch a little bit of is going to be a series like Devilman.
Oh yeah, Devilman. Yes, yes, yes. I know about Devilman.
What about you, Punk? You checked out Devilman?
I have not.
And I should specify, I'm not talking about the Netflix series like Devilman
Crybaby.
Crybaby.
Yeah, that's the
Right.
Crybaby one.
Are you talking about like the? Is it a vampire one or something? Or
All right, so basically, they're a race of devils that have like are trying to come to conquer Earth,
okay,
and one of them has defected to and kind of and gone and fused with one of the humans who transforms to save humanity.
okay,
And yes, it's like Go Nagai's work alongside series like Cutie Honey, and
okay.
ultimately he's a guy who we ought to give a little more appreciation to because he basically created so many of the different genres that we enjoy today with anime.
Mm-hmm. I've definitely watched some Cutie Honey thanks to Pops over there, Pop Culture Mechanic, but I haven't watched any of that stuff yet.
Like for example, Cutie Honey was basically what helped pioneer the magical girl genre that we know best with like Sailor Moon.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, his series of Violence Jack kind of helps bring about a lot of the post-apocalyptic sort of stuff that we would better get with series like Mad Max.
Okay.
His stuff like his Mazinger helped kind of bring in Gundam. Like this guy
So,
is like one of those. He really does deserve to have a lot more respect.
so are you just hear me out for just? Are you saying what he did for anime and the different genres, and just stylistically, and just creating seeding a wide array of just creativity from his own standpoint? What and it branched out in all different directions. This is kind of what people say might what the Beatles were for music, that they kind of did it all at the right pivotal time that inspired so many people to go out and do stuff
I-
in a way.
That's probably fair to say because he effectively kind of helped start a lot of these bigger genres.
Mm.
Not to say that nobody else couldn't have done it or nobody else was trying, but he had
But
the
yeah, but you can't overlook him with
oh,
those like genres.
oh yeah, like I'm not trying to get in the conversation that the Kinks and the Beatles, blah blah blah, or anything like that. But it's like, yeah, somebody who did it well, somebody that had the inspiration, the vision to put it together in a way that was palatable, that the general public fell in love with, and inspired people to create such and such after. Yeah,
Mm.
you can't negate that what they did, how their effect and how their marketing and how they were able to inspire so many people. Yeah, you can't live that down or take that away.
Oh yeah, you're right because that's another name, Osamu Tezuka.
Okay.
So the thing is, Go Nagai is still around. He's like mostly just doing teaching these days at like Tokyo University, I think, or no, Osaka University of Arts.
Okay.
So I don't know. He's currently like seven. Oh wow, he's 78.
Dang.
Yeah, he's 78. Yeah, he's an old man.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Like I'd like to think that like he could have like one more series in him, but
Hmm. Well,
at most he might just basically do some consulting.
how old is Miyazaki now?
Oh, dirt.
Because he came out of retirement for whatever that movie recently, right? And nobody
Oh,
really expected that one.
oh, what was it the boy and the heron?
No, no. There's been. I thought he did something more recently.
Let's see. In August 2016, he proposed a new feature length film, The Boy and the Heron.
Okay, okay, yeah. Sorry,
Yeah.
that is it. I don't know why I heard. Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Nope.
Because that didn't
Hey
just.
there. But yeah, no, it's like these are the those names that ought to be talked about more. I mean, yeah,
So.
we of course we always point to like Tomino himself, but
Mhm.
it's like that. It's like Tomino and Miyazaki are names that for the longest time I sort of was guilty of just sort of
Mm.
being the only names I really kept in
So
Yeah.
mind.
here's a depressing thought, but okay, so some of these guys who really implemented, really shaped anime for what it is, and really our current era, inspiring those to go after him, like what Studio Ghibli's still around, they're still doing stuff. It's not
Yeah.
quite the same, but it's still inspired. So when these guys have to retire and put down their pens, um, how, I mean, do you think with all the and I don't even want to go into the social current aspect because tides change, but do you think people will just try to emulate and take over their empire and then, by a generation or two it's slowly decayed and fall apart like Disney, or do you think there's people coming up all the time and that they're going to carry on? I mean, part of it is because I think anime is in the art form is much more culturally entwined. Like what JC, you were saying earlier, that it's fantastical, but all the spiritual and all the daily life bits and all the intertwinings of their culture is there's an anime about it, as opposed to the Western side. I don't know. I It's just kind of
Mm.
with
No,
everything
I
going
understand
on.
what you're meaning. I
Yeah.
understand what you're
Okay.
trying to say and what you mean here.
I
And
mean,
no, it is an interesting question, of course, but I've seen how like these companies in Japan works a lot with all that, and They will never bend the knee. We can say it like that. They will never bend the knee. We had, we just had an accident or something that happened with, anime anime where in the anime world. Um, because one of the animes that came out, I don't remember the name of the anime right now, but
Mhm.
they changed the dialogue to put the Americans, localizers, the
Mhm.
translators. They changed the dialogue of the anime to become more typical American political speech.
Right.
So they did that in the anime, in the dub and sub and stuff like that. And the company in Japan themselves, they got really fucking pissed off,
Mhm.
and they said straight out, we are going to use AI now because we don't trust you guys. We are going to use
Well,
AI to translate everything. This meanwhile, and that's because a lot of the people that works like not in Japan, but the people who translates and stuff like that, and a lot of them are woke pieces of trash.
yeah.
They also attack fans. So we had the incident when this young kid, he just asked that woman, "Why
Mhm.
you guys change that dialogue? Like
I
what's
saw
going
that
on?"
video.
Yeah, and the way she treated him and the things that she said, it's just like, no, 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 no. And this is not the first time the translators have done this, and I'm just happy that Japan finally stepped up. Companies and everything, they have stepped up now because they don't want this bullshit. They don't want this bullshit to be in their entertainment. So I'm happy that they did something. I don't think AI is the future, but unfortunately, the thing is, the translators and voice actors and all of them, they brought this on themselves. This is their own problem. They brought it on themselves. And this is an ongoing thing I've seen before in other mangas and stuff like that. There was, for example, one manga that I did buy back in the day. I don't
Mhm.
remember the name of it, but it was about a boy where he wears dresses, girl clothing and all that kind of stuff, but it's not a girl or anything.
Mhm.
And in a lot of anime and manga, it's pretty normal that men can wear dresses and stuff like that. It's Japan. It's normal there.
Yeah.
um, so in the English version of the translations, they claimed that the character was trans and everything like that, and want to change their gender. But when you
Yeah.
look at the real translation, that's not what it is at all. The whole dialogue was actually just the guy talking that he was comfortable wearing the girl clothing. It wasn't, but it was still a boy. He identified as a boy and was a boy. It was just like
And
typical anime stuff you see and
So
manga stuff you see. So yeah.
well, I
so
it,
oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, and I get that. I guess what I was really trying to angle at is more of like, do you think that there's gonna be as many inspired creators? I mean, the woke stuff is annoying, but like, just people who are inspired that are going to s- care as much about the craft and not just try to emulate what came before them.
Well,
I guess
I
for
think
the
there's
art
still people.
style.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are still gonna be inspired and still make a lot of great content out there with anime and manga. I think
Yeah.
so.
So
and I
yeah.
mean the thing is, just to because I'm sorry, there's a lot to unpack there with what you're
Oh
saying.
yeah. Go for it.
Uh, we have a thing now where Japan is now becoming more actively aware. Like I think there was like a low level awareness, but it never quite caught on.
Mhm.
Yeah, but awareness
Whereas now
awareness
we're
stuff
actually
with Japan,
seeing,
they have noticed it really really much that anime and manga and stuff they are doing so well in the other worlds. For
well,
them.
the fact that it's also like a national export, that it's part of their
Yes.
culture that is
Yes,
being put out
exactly.
into the world, and you have activists who are going in and actively changing it to
Mhm.
Yes.
fix it. Like, and it's the most baffling thing because, like, hey, if you flip burgers for a living, and you start deciding you don't want to put pickles on their burgers, or you decide instead I'm going to give everyone chicken instead because it's healthier. Well, then it's on the obligation of the burger joint to fire you for putting in chicken instead. It's like, no, give the people what they want. And if you don't
I'll,
want to do that, if
Yeah.
you fail to do that, you should not have this job.
Yeah, and,
I'll,
and, and same thing when you're
I'll up.
translating it.
I was gonna
Talk.
up you one more. Like, say, okay, Japan exports anime, manga, wagyu beef. So they want to change the anime and the manga, but say if they said, "Oh, your wagyu beef, we need to store it differently, or we need to add something to it, or we need to, I don't know, salt it or preserve it or do something," then you'd be like, "You're ruining the wagyu beef. You're putting it in this American seasoning or something. Like, you've ruined the export." And there are people that are
Mm,
steak lovers that are going to say that you can't do that. That you have tarnished the product. But for some reason, this idea that because it's
mm.
art and art needs to be interpreted how you want it to be, you can't allow something to exist outright and speak. You know, the whole theory that once art exists, it has a life of its own. People can be inspired. People
and
get to react to it.
and
Um,
the worst part there though is these self admitted activists will act as though will simultaneously say that they are in a way creatives themselves because they change it, but then also, oh, it's not that important that it was changed. It's like, no, it obviously was. The
It
fact
it
that
really
you're
is.
you're making such a stink about the fact that and defending it and trying to
mhm.
like
Yeah.
deflect from the fact that you did it only
Especially when you make
shines
it a
more of a light on
political
it.
agenda-driven dialogue, and if you read original stuff, it's just like that's not what it's about. There's no political stuff here that in this scene. Like, why are you doing this? Like, this is stupid. So I'm really
Yeah.
happy that Japan and the companies down there are aware of a lot of this now, and
Mhm.
they've gotten so much aware of how big they really are and how much they're actually selling
and
overseas.
and the thing is now, like, it's going to have the knockdown effect of it's not just going to affect these localizers. No, this is going to start costing other people their jobs. The guys
Mhm.
that
Yep,
work in the sound booth that do all the balancing, the voice mixing,
yep.
the editors who have to go through and like scrub out the original, like you might have to go and remove the original dialogue and all that. They're going to lose their jobs now over this. The and if they're going to go to AI, they're just going to license out a couple of voices, or they'll probably just maybe pay for that video game voiceover stuff. So then you'll have not just the current people doing this, but then the next generation, like the people that are going to come along in 10 years after these people,
Mm,
who
Or
now won't have jobs.
maybe they'll do that contract where, all right, you're doing voiceovers for anime, and then we're gonna get all the different expressions, and they're gonna pay a lump sum, and then we're gonna use your voice for characters forever. You know, like, uh, who knows? You know what I mean? You can emulate a certain voice for a
Well,
specific
sure,
character.
but then if you can just if say you let's say you have about a good 30, let's say 50 to 100 voices. If
Yep,
you can have this little selection of 100 voices to do characters with, you're not going to need new people.
exactly. That's exactly what. Yeah. No, I'm with you
Like,
entirely. I wasn't trying to disagree.
and at this point, like it's like I feel for the people out there who are going to then the people that are going to lose work, who weren't the shitheads.
Yeah.
yeah, just normal people who
Yeah.
who are respecting and nice people and stuff like that. I feel bad for them, but we know there's still people who are gonna voice act you properly. They still like and who still respect, and that doesn't change just because of this and this. But there's possibility of many people are gonna lose jobs because of this, and that's unfortunately that's the companies, that's the people themselves. It's their fault. They destroyed it for the other people.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate. Because one thing, yeah, I'm just happy that Japan is aware, because
Yeah. Well,
anime and manga is so big, and they make something unique for a lot of us who grew up with this and love this, and yeah, you know what I mean.
Well, it's like 2 years, I remember 2 or 3 years ago when I started getting more on YouTube and stuff, and all the stuff about, oh, we fixed your art, or we made it better because we didn't like this thing about it. It's, once again, this idea that you have to graft onto what's popular to. It's almost like the extension of a meme culture, right? We meme things because they're popular, because they're viral and they're funny, and so we riff on them. But this
Mm,
idea to take something a real, genuinely loved, well crafted property, not some silly viral video that took 5 seconds to do, but all the production team, all the studios behind it, to say, I'm going to fix it. You're wrong. I'm going to take this and turn it into what I want. And like you said, Iron Castro, like you take this idea that because they're adapting it or changing it to their own will, all of a sudden, oh, I'm a creator. Well, no, you are just distorting something that exists. You're you're editing something. You're not a creator. You're an editor, uh, and not a good one at that.
And I agree with Philip there. Stand with Vic myself.
Yeah,
He's one of the few people that he deserves to come back to the big anime world to
Mhm.
dub stuff.
I
I mean, isn't he currently having a bit of a resurgence with like he's working on this little studio for doing voice work?
Yeah,
yes,
he's doing something. He is doing something. Yeah. Just I feel like since he was so big in the anime world, he would firing him was a stupid thing to do for stuff that was not real and all lies and all that kind of stupid stuff. I feel so bad for the guy. Such a good voice actor too.
Yep.
yeah.
And I mean, it's like these same. Oh God, I forget. I had a whole bit here I was gonna work out. I was working on, but I sort of lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, no, that's what it was.
Good.
So you've got these people who will sit here and complain about like, or they want to hold up and cheer on the fact that like they make changes, but then
Mhm,
you'll have guys like this like here just to pull this up. All right, so here's
mhm,
Matt Pat, and then
yeah,
oh
Yeah.
here's this account this Pilgrim account. It's like all he does is like go and says, oh, what if we made you black or Chinese?
yeah,
What?
Yeah, that's all
yeah.
this guy does.
What the fuck?
It's like, here's what she would look like if she got cosmetic procedure to make you black or Chinese. Here's what you look like if you were black or Chinese. It's like these same people are having a problem with
Isn't
this for
that
changing things.
did this guy create the AI that he's using?
I have no idea, but
Well,
this is
that's my
just an
question
account
of
that
like, but this goes back to what are you creating? You're using something that already exists. Most likely, you're putting some things in a program, and you know how to tweak it to get your results. Um, what
Wow.
value are you really adding?
So you're telling me this guy can make me Asian? Is that what you're trying to tell me? Wow.
yeah. But I don't think it's gonna come with the inherent like
Mm.
I don't think it's gonna come with the inherent ability to read Japanese. So we for the moment we still have to deal with the
Oh
trans
yeah, yeah.
the localizers.
Yeah. God damn it.
Okay, man.
Here's what you would look like if you understood Japanese.
I really think so.
This is how you will look like. Oh god.
Well, we know that plastic surgery isn't the answer.
Nope.
Hell
The
no.
answer is to watch more anime.
True,
Look at
true.
some more big
W-
robots.
Yeah.
Watch more anime. Get a book and learn Japanese. Do it the old
Mm.
school way to learn Japanese. A lot of Japanese people are annoyed by people who watches anime and they talk like how they learn Japanese through anime because a lot of Japanese like no, that's not how we fucking talk. That's not right. I've seen so many videos about that. I don't remember his name, but as a guy that I follow on TikTok, and he hates when people when visitors are coming to Japan and they're trying to speak Japanese and they're using words from Japanese TV shows and animes, and he's just like, no, just fucking no, that's not how we speak, dude.
That's
These
hilarious.
words we're just using for movies and anime and stuff like that. So if you come to Japan and then you speak like words you've heard from an anime, they're gonna look stupid at you, just like what the fuck. You
Yeah,
you
because
you
so
are
much of it is like, or is like kind of written in a way to be like 16-year-old girls, and it's like it would be like if someone came to the U.S. and into like Texas and try to talk like a Valley girl,
Yeah, exactly. So no, it is also fun.
or talk like Punk Waddle.
What?
Yeah.
You know, just because I was quiet doesn't mean I can't hear you.
Oh,
Yeah,
guys, I think we've gone a little bit over.
Uh,
Uh,
yeah.
I guess real quick, on our way out, what's one series you want to recommend to people to check out, and just real quickly why?
Hmm.
Funkwaddle, you want to go first?
Let's see. Current or old?
Dealer's choice.
Ooh, okay. I don't know. Maybe because it's the mood. I think, and maybe because I mentioned Kamina earlier, and maybe people have already watched Gurren Lagann. But I think one of the things right now is I don't know. We're 2 weeks into this year, and it's an election year, and all the political stuff, and all the people, any little hot button issue has been flared up, and something about an anime with absurdly big robots and just always about going forward and pressing on and a bigger obstacle that you keep climbing the mountain and climbing the mountain. Okay, and then there's Yoko with her sniper rifle and other things, and it's it's just a fun, big mecha, silly show.
Oh yes, Daddy.
Oh fuck! I forgot to. Wait a minute, Jace. Hang on. I gotta put you in your place.
That's even more kinkier, man.
I love that.
Oh God. Oh God. Okay, I like that one.
All right,
Uh,
all right, Jace.
well,
What
at
about
least
you?
something what I want to really recommend is one of my all-time favorite animes and mangas of all time is Blade of the Immortal. The remake version is pretty good. It's about Manji, and he's a swordsman who can't die yet. He has to kill certain amount of people so he can actually die. And he also befriends, this girl who wants to take revenge of what happened to her father and a lot of stuff like that. The remake anime did a lot better than the old anime because they never finished the old anime. They never got to finish it. So they did a remake of it, and it's fucking good. It's fucking amazing, and I really highly recommend that. If you haven't seen it, go and watch that. I have only one complaint about the anime, and that they removed one logo behind on his suit, on his outfit, because that to a lot of not no non-Japanese people, they think about the Yahtzees because of that.
Uh,
And
Oh,
that logo is not because of Yahtzees. It's not for Yahtzees. That logo is actually for Hinduism and Buddhism and stuff
yeah,
like
I
that.
know what you mean. Yep.
Yes. So they had to remove that from the anime because if they're going to release it all over the world, they had to do that. If not, they were not allowed because people would be like, oh, this is
Mhm.
Yahtzees. You're supporting this and this. No, it's not. Like, even in the manga, they had to write that in the start of the book when they re-released it all over the world again in big formats.
Yeah.
And I feel bad for them. It's just like we know the story behind it. We know why people can think like that, but maybe try to people have to just learn a little bit more about story and where it actually comes from. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's especially this day and age where everybody's trying to find a reason to be offended or feign offense
Yeah,
or just troll or call somebody out for doing something wrong. Really, everybody wants to
yeah.
police.
Yes, but other than that, for me, that's a 9 out of 10 anime. I would have given it 10 out of 10 if the symbol was still there, but since they had to do that, I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. Really good, and of course, I will always recommend. If people haven't seen it, but most people have, but to people that haven't, I'm a big Death Note guy. Watch the anime, read the manga of Death Note, and stuff like that. Yeah, some recommendations I have.
Do you have anything, Ironcaster?
yeah. So,
Gundam, and let's see, Gundam, and like let's guess, big fucking robots, more Gundam. Oh, look at there. When we're
Well,
ending. When we're
well,
ending,
you are
my
partially right
co-host
there because
Kilted. My
I
co-host
am gonna,
Kilted is in the chat. Hail Kilted. Hail brother.
and he says fart.
Hail.
Hey, the
As for
work.
myself,
I was gonna
I'm
say the
going to
best.
actually go with something a little similar for kind of something a little along the lines of kind of some stuff you guys are talking
And if
about.
you feel lonely, I do recommend Rent a Girlfriend. That's a fun anime.
Mm,
So the one I'm actually going to bring up, and I think it's going to be a good one, especially with like all the 2024 craziness to kind of go watch, is of course going to be Code Geass.
I need to see the third season.
I need to get to I haven't not watched it yet like that, so I need to get more
So
into that.
so you've got your robots and your mecha goodness.
Of course
You've
you do.
got you've got this story of a cast out prince looking to basically get his revenge on his father, while we're following after these two protagonists, and they have these sort of complete opposite approaches to life. One is the one is the optimist
Mm.
who thinks he can go kind of within the system to make things better, and then you have the realist who's trying to overthrow everything to take over. uh, a lot of fascinating sort of strategic assessment of battle, as you're seeing them like planning like multiple steps ahead in order to win these battles. you you've got people with power, you've got a character with the power to give people a command to do anything, and in the first episode it just tells people to like shoot themselves in the head, which they gladly do.
Oh yeah,
Like
yeah.
it is fantastic. It is worth a watch. It is This is one of my favorite series out there, and yeah, this is gonna be my pick on the way out.
That's a fun one. It really is.
Guys, we gotta do something together soon. Why don't we? I don't know. Maybe if you guys are up for it, we could talk a little bit off stream. We'll maybe pick a movie or something to maybe look at if you guys are up for it.
Cool.
Okay, man.
All right, but
Um,
guys, without further ado, I think we're gonna bid you farewell.
Thanks everybody for hanging out.
yeah, thank you everybody for hanging out, and thank you for the support. And I just want to say, as I always say, life's too short, make the most of it. And we on this panel, we appreciate everybody in the chat. We would not been here if it wasn't for you guys. And thank you for inspiring us every day to continue doing what we're doing on YouTube and other platforms. Thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts.
Mhm.
And yes, Universal Century Gundam and Macross.